Today we're using theater mode for a behind-the-scenes look at some matchmaking gameplay from a top Halo player, Legend. He's about to make a 10-kill comeback in Slayer on Solitude. We're going to play each life and break it down. You can do this with most Halo pros, by the way, depending on their privacy settings. Just add them as a friend and then go to your friends and find someone like Lucid, for example. I can see his past matches. Great way to learn how the player plays, which is what we'll do today. So if you like this video, want me to feature another pro, drop their tag in the comments. Whoever gets the most likes, I'll look at next.
Active camo available.
Shot call.
Active camo acquired.
Double kill.
Celebration.
Killing spree. Enemy team nearing victory.
Something I like about this play off the opening is it takes the sort of traditional idea behind good positioning in Halo and it flips it on its head. Legend is making this play from bottom mid. Off his opening, he flies through bottom mid for a flank, and it's only something you would think to do if you had some form of advanced mobility, like a sprint or slide. It wouldn't be feasible, maybe not even possible, in a classic Halo game to do something like this. It's a 2v2. His two teammates are dead in front of him. The kill feed shows two enemies dead here as well. Enemy has camo advantage. Camo's coming up in 2 seconds. They have vantage points. They have sight lines for it. You'd think that he'd want to get some high ground of his own in the perimeter. Play slow, play defensively, let his teammates spawn up behind him as they fight their way towards the camo, keep the enemy off of it. But because Legend can play fast and he's aware, he's accessing this whole new layer. He's making a hard read through bottom mid. He knows at least one player has to be Yard in this moment. They just killed his teammate in Yard. If anybody drops the driveway, he can clean him up for free. But realistically, with camo coming up, why would somebody want to drop driveway? High ground is much more effective. By playing through the bottom of the map and doing it quickly, not only is he a huge distraction, it's just less predictable. They're not going to be looking for him down here. He uses a curb slide to get to the driveway safely. And now that he's here, he's taking an isolated fight. Nobody ended up going driveway. It's also a huge flank that forces the enemy to split their attention 2 different directions, and he's splitting the spawns. Notice how this player spawns in tram because of the team influence of his teammate in front of him. But as Legend comes up in driveway, he's taking influence away from the spawn and splitting the last spawner across the map in cafe out of the field to play for camo. And this team can't set up in front of it with good sight lines for it, right? So he's disrupting the team setup for camo. His teammates might get pinched from this cafe spawner, something to keep in mind. But as far as prioritizing camo, I mean, this is excellent, right? He gets this isolated fight, uses the jiggle peek to finish him off, coming through with a flank here, gets to clean up the one shot in the player posters. SLG did the damage. On top of Soda here, he's going to hit a curb slide for a fast rotate straight to camo. He just came from Yard and tram. The enemy's got to be sniped. He already knows the spawn for the enemy based off of the way he routed and the influence of his teammate here. So as he comes up, watch the use of camo. He's listening, and he's not just going to take the first available fight. He's purposefully going to the back of the spawn. Instead of taking the first available fight, I find with camo, a lot of people will get distracted with the first available fight. But if you take this fight and you fumble for whatever reason, the last spawner is going to shoot you for free. He's going to see this interaction happen. If he just lets him go, leaves him, plays for the back of the spawn, he's behind enemy lines and nobody can touch him back here. He's getting 1 kill, cleans up the second. Now this jump, I'm not sure if this is intentional or what. He double jumps up here. I've never done this before. So Legend, if you watch this video, is this an accident? Is this like a theater mode clamber? Or is there a trick to double jump this? Because I need to know. Meanwhile, there's a player that's actually right behind him right now who stayed alive and is looking for him. He's like shooting nades, trying to expose him, can't find him. I assume Legend knows this. Maybe he's just ignoring him if it's like discipline or what. I'm not sure. Because there's 2 enemies right in front of him. He knows it. He drops down to cut the sight line. As he comes up and clambers here, he knows he's a distraction, but he's not going to fight for the front guy. He takes this fight. He exposes himself to a 2 or potentially a 3v1 with all these players around him. But by going into cafe, he gets an isolated fight. This player right here, watch how fast this guy dies. Like, I think Legend's understanding of where his teammates are and what the priority target is based off the sight lines his teammates have. Just so important. This guy, watch how fast he dies. A shot from truck and from top yellow, trying to shoot Legend. This man's just chasing ghosts. He's using the camo not only for kills, but to pull his opponents out into the open, into his teammates' sight line, so they make mistakes and they die for free. Great routing here too, right? From the window, he crouch jumps up to the high ground of the ledge, takes the fight from the ledge. Nice patient reticle placement as he cleans up the headshot here. Takes damage from the left, stays tight to the wall on the left-hand side to avoid the nade, gets the cleanup. Enemy spawn and snipe now. His teammate is pinging it. SLG is likely calling this out to Legend as well. Player gets behind him with a flank. He gets a little overzealous here, I think, too. Note that he's paying attention to his teammates and when they open fire. Even though he's weak and he's just getting his shields back in the situation, he knows he has a distraction to work off of, and he's taking a gamble. He's not going to wait for the entirety of his shields to come back. He's just throwing himself into it, hoping that he just clean up a free player because of the gunfire going down. Doesn't see the flanker. It's snapped on faster than expected.
Plasma grenades obtained.
Gain the lead. Victory.
Still down by 7 off this life. Legend's ability to survive is what's so key here. He hits the double jump to top yellow off the opening. Add this jump to the playbook if you can't do it already. I've got a video on it, so I recommend you watch that. But there are certain walls, I guess, that you can double jump off of. You have to push into this corner here, hit the jump button twice while holding into the wall, diagonal to your left to clamber up. Watch the video. Teammate's in a fight. He knows it because this player has an exclamation point. Wedging into the wall on the left-hand side to cut the sight lines out from snipe and mid here. He's banking nades through dip to try to help. There's the player. I like how he focuses the fight in the right and doesn't shoot this guy, right? You can't expose yourself to 2 fights. Take the 1 fight at a time. Jumps backwards to fade out and avoid any potential angles while still doing damage. Doesn't get the kill. Sees his teammate dead on Cafe as he pushes through here. It's just sort of a mixy situation to play in if you're Legend. You can see his teammates are both across the map here, and he's lost his other teammate in Cafe. Any fight that he takes on this perimeter is entirely alone. His teammates can't help him. So ideally, he's staying on the perimeter, but towards the middle of the map, enough that he can work with the team and escape towards their sight lines if he needs to. That's why I like that he plays through this doorway. He'll spot one, and then watch how confidently he takes this fight. Isolated 1v1, and he just walks at the guy. Like, the confidence, you see it from his POV. He's like jiggle peeking, trying to get him off of him. Just mows the guy down. Like, he's not doing anything crazy strafe-wise, just keeping his reticle trained on him and walking him down. It's hard to teach that kind of confidence. You know what I mean? Like, just good reticle placement, very confident in his ability to shoot and execute this player, and knows he has the advantage. He got first shot. He's just playing up off of it, closing the distance, putting pressure on the guy. He got the repulse off of that kill off the floor here. I love the routing here. He's going to jump to the window ledge, hit a curb slide across the plasma nades. The beauty of this routing is he's very quick to recognize where his teammates are and picks a lane that best complements them, but also cuts off the options of his enemy. His teammates are all over to his right-hand side. They were just previously on Sniper. He was just on Cafe. The enemy has to be in Yard in this situation. And if we're collapsing on Yard, he takes this leftmost perimeter. His teammate up here taking top yellow, cutting off that lane. His other one is here on Glass. The last one died trying to push through LR. Like, this is a perfect collapse through all of their lanes except, I guess, driveway. But it just cuts off every option and ensures that nobody slips through unaccounted for by going through this leftmost lane. This guy can't get away. He gets flanked in the process. They're coming in with a perfect collapse here. Notice as the last player dies, all of his teammates are skewed towards Tram. Immediately, he's going to turn. He's going to watch Snipe. Jumps. Look how early he snaps on S1. Like, you know he's looking for a spawner coming out S1 here. two players have already spawned sniper. They're already pushing out on the map, one's through bottom mid, one in posters, right? So same type of thing Legend was doing, trying to get out of a spawn collapse situation. Legend just gonna hold down Cafe. The way he does this is just brilliant to me. I don't know, like he takes 2 shots from sniper. He knows they're spawning there. They got the jump on him. Drops on the rock, hits a curb slide to the back of Cafe, re-peek snipe to see if someone's there, and then jumps up and runs along the top here across the wall to re-peek the guy on posters. This routing, what it's doing is cutting snipe out of the equation, isolating an angle on posters, but also keeping him in this to the point where he's like a distraction. Like, look at this guy's POV on S4. This is Millsy. He's trying to shoot Legend and effectively doing very little to support his team. He's only really focused on Legend because the way Legend's moving is very distracting. But this kill, like, Legend, I think, knows that Millsy in S4 is not a priority kill. His teammates aren't in position to clean up this guy in S4. His teammates are focused on posters, right? So he's like put himself in a position where he can isolate the kill that matters and ignore the guy and distract the guy who doesn't matter, if that makes sense. Like, there's something about that in the routing that's so brilliant. The posters guy does later end up dying, or someone that in that area at least does. He backs up, stays alive. He's tight to these walls. We got snipe and camo coming up. The sticky repulse. This is such a powerful combo to master. Repulse and nade, they're animations that cancel into each other. And repulsing a grenade actually adds, I believe, a very slight homing to the nade, increasing the chances that it'll stick your target. Once it sticks the guy, the repulse sends him out, and there is nothing he can do to survive or to trade the kill. Such a beautiful way to negate any possible damage and get a guaranteed pick in a situation like that. SLG's positioning here, he's just sitting glass and blocking the tram spawn. So they're continuously spawning and snipe. They're just shooting them as they come off of spawn here. Such a smart way to play this until they will eventually flip if enough pressure is put on the spawn. See how Thuru is putting pressure on snipe? As the sniper spawns, he's going to collect it. And Legend and SLG have the awareness to know that the spawn is going to flip now. And now Yard has to be the spawn. So he's going to come back and collapse on the Yard spawn. So they got him on a cycle here, putting shots into it immediately. Kind of a risky movement with the jumps. He bounces out. He's 1 bullet from death. Beautiful repulse. Once again, to save his life. Last second, any damage he takes, he's dead, but the repulse will save him. Keep the nade off of him. He trusts the team, I believe, to get the rest of the kill. He's coming here for the cleanup. 48 at this point. They got to be hotel and snipe side of the map. They got no coverage. Instead of it just being snipe this time, it's going to be both hotel and snipe. There's more open space on this side of the map. Nobody's kind of fully anchored through Cafe to deny anything. So they know it's like a little more mixy, like it could be between the two. Drops into dip. Isolates sight lines once again, right? He does this a lot. He kind of just drops straight into dip, takes the isolated fight, avoiding anybody who could be spawning coming out of sniper. At this point, though, they're kind of just mowing him down, right? 2 more kills to close it. Leaves that guy behind, plays towards the team here. Just making sure that anything they get is a guaranteed trade at this point. And a 50-47 close, an over 10 kill comeback. Just a nasty sequence, 18-9, that a Legend. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I think I'm always going to be a fan of all the little things that separate top players like Legend from everyone else. I just got a lot of respect for the craft and a lot of love for the sport of Halo. I think there's nothing quite like it. Recently hit 60K on YouTube, by the way. I just wanted to say thank you. I might do a larger video, but kind of crazy to think I've been doing this for over 6 years. It's been a hell of a journey. I know I haven't been posting as much recently, and I'm trying to get back to that. I'm sort of in a weird place with Halo right now. I think it's safe to say the state of the game is not great. It's not where I'd like it to be, and I'm sure a lot can agree, and I should probably talk about it. But what I try to do is just be grateful for where I'm at and just keep going. So thank you for 60K. It really does mean a lot. I hope that, you know, my content, despite just being about Halo, has been meaningful for you. And I hope that one day I'm going to look back and be really glad that I stuck with this. In the meantime, I am still coaching. If you're trying to improve at Halo, I got a link to that in the video description. I got a Patreon, which is the best way to support the channel. Thank you to my Patreon subscribers as well. I've got extra content there on my coaching sessions there that I plan to continue to add to if you're looking for some extra content from me, and more pro player breakdowns if that's what you're looking for, right beside me.